You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the #1 horse podcast in the world. Here is your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
Well, good Monday morning, everybody. I am Glenn the Geek in Ocala, Florida.
You're back in the continental United States.
I am, and you're back too.
I'm Jamie Jennings, and I'm in Norman, Oklahoma. You're listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for Monday, June 1st, episode 3862, brought to you by WERM Flooring. Good morning, horse people.
Well, we're back, and we're going to have a fun day today. We're just going to catch up on the many things that seem to have happened during this break. I don't know about you, but it seems like a year ago we did a show together, so I'm looking forward to chatting today. We're just going to go over all the things that happened while we were gone. No guests today, just us. We have so much to talk about. Lisa's movie, my award, your many, many horse adventures you had over the last couple of weeks. I've been following along on Facebook. The listener cruise, plus we have some Equestrian First World Problems. And then in the post show, I have something that's going to shock you. And it doesn't happen too often. And I haven't told Jamie about this yet.
I'll try to pay attention.
But it has not happened in the history of this show too often. And that's coming up in the post show. But first, I wanted to mention to everybody that we're changing to our summer recording hours. That means we record an hour later. That's so Jamie and I can get to do things outside in the morning before it gets too freaking hot. By the way, that's happening around 8 o'clock here now. So the show will be coming out an hour later than usual. It's usually out by 1 o'clock in the winter, 2 o'clock in the summer. So don't panic if you don't see it show up by 1 o'clock. That's why. Hopefully it'll be out by 2 o'clock Eastern time. Also, tomorrow on the American Horse Council episode, they talk about illegal racing. And I didn't know that this was such a huge thing in the United States still. Illegal horse racing. I didn't know anything about it, and they spent a whole episode talking to experts about this and what they're trying to do to curtail it. It's a serious
Interesting. I feel like you and I've talked about it because my event horse Jet that I adopted from the sheriff's department was a illegal match racing horse.
It's a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was like 100 years ago.
I just was out of my mind. And then, I produced this episode and was like, holy cow, this is something else. So anyway, the American Horse Council is working on trying to do something about this legally. And will be coming up on tomorrow's show. In the meantime, we have some daily Whinnies to get to. I feel like we're behind on those too.
From the podcast to the barn, here's some hidden birthday wishes to keep you warm.
Okay, first, for everybody I missed their birthdays over the last 3 weeks, happy birthday to all of you together.
He won't do that again. He won't be gone this time next year. You'll get it.
Yes, it just was your lucky weeks. I did hear from one of the listeners on the cruise. They're like, you always miss my birthday. So I know I always miss a lot of people's birthdays, and I apologize, but I didn't miss these. Holly P, Megan C, Jennifer T, and Lulu C. Happy birthday to all of you. And also...
I got another birthday.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. Are you sitting down?
Yes. Actually.
Okay. I would like to point out that yesterday, Lucas Jennings turned 13 years old.
He's a teenager.
My freaking child is 13. I have been doing this podcast longer than my child has been alive.
He was born on this show, pretty much.
Crazy.
We heard him for the first 2 years, screaming in the background.
Yeah, I heard him a lot more than that. But yeah,
oh my
13
God, he's
years
13.
Old.
He looks I got to admit, though, he looks like he's 17 in the pictures.
Dude, he's like, you know what he loves to do is walk up to me and kiss me on the top of the head. Like, you jerk.
Nothing degrading about that.
I mean, seriously, I'm like, get away from me. Ew.
You know what I noticed? You had a party and had a whole bunch of his friends over.
They're still here.
He looks so much older than them.
Well, they're all about his age, so
Wow.
I don't know what, but yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. There's still Chad's down there cooking pancakes right now for all the children the men that stayed the night.
So if we hear screaming in the background, it's still your son, is what you're saying.
It's still, good point.
Well, happy birthday. Well, did he have fun?
Oh man, he had a great time. He had a great time. So they had like water fights and like movies and games and challenge it. He orchestrates the whole thing now. So it's great. I just actually sat in my room and drank.
He said, Mom, don't you come out and ruin it.
I'm good.
And no horse movies, right? They didn't watch one horse movie.
They did not watch one horse movie.
All right, your turn.
Well, I think you had also written down before I interrupted you that Nikki purchased a new farm.
Yeah, Auditor Nikki.
auditor?
Yeah, Auditor Nikki, who most of you have heard on this show, apparently did a marching toward death thing and went all out and purchased a new farm. So she just didn't do a new horse; she did a new farm. So congratulations, Nikki, on that.
Well, we know what comes with new farms.
Yes.
New horses.
Jamie has a few up for adoption if you need one, Nikki.
I do. And so that is my daily win. Actually, thank you for leading me into that, because I would like to say, do you remember how to say the word Studeny?
Studeny?
Studeny. I don't know. Anyway, he got adopted, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. So yeah, he was adopted by my friend Brooke in Florida, and she just bought a new farm and only had one horse. So make that a lesson, Nikki. She had to buy a second horse. So we had shopped around at new vocations in Kentucky when we were there for the 3-day. And she looked at a bunch and liked a bunch. And then I ended up adopting Tito. So whatever, it's fine. But so she came out and it's just a perfect horse from Horse and Hound. So now, oddly enough, she had already adopted one from Horse and Hound a couple of years ago. And the one that she got is literally the same horse. I mean, 17 hands, blood bay, big straight blaze, white sock. Like, it's crazy. Her husband was like, you're gonna have to put collars on him, like different colors.
She's got bookends, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait till he gets there. He's still here until the shippers come, but I can't wait to get a picture of her with the two of them. They're freaking identical. And then also, for those of you who are looking for a sports car, I just got this horse named Okie Cool, and a lot of people love the
like
Okie
the Okie
horses.
yeah.
Yes. They're from the Richter Family Trust. And anyway, Okie Cool came, and he was here when he was younger, and I did some work with him and got him started. And then he went off to race, and he's now been retired, and he's back, and he is the most elegant moving 3-year-old I've ever seen. I mean, I put him out, and I was like, oh my God. Like one of those movers. So you can see his videos on the Flyover Farm Facebook page and go check him out if you're in the market.
Racing wasn't real good if he's retired at 3.
Yeah, the Richters have decided to kind of like start retiring, and so they're pulling all of them off, and he actually did pretty good. So they're just like, okay, well, that was good. Because when he came here before, I was like, these horses need to go get an education on the track, because sometimes they have thoroughbreds. It's really good for them to see the life of a racehorse. Like it's actually really, I think, educational for them. They travel, they go places, they do more things. And he has come back and is the sweetest little angel. So I'm really happy that it worked out, and he's up for adopted. So go check him out.
And I wanted to thank everybody who listened in to all our special episodes last month. We put a lot of work into those, and everybody seemed to enjoy them. We're getting a lot of nice comments on those. So we tried to do a variety, and I'm getting I put a Leslie special together where she, the Lady Martha and her Mongol Derby. I get a lot of comments on that for people who hadn't heard that the first time. But also your specials with the racing family and Steve Haskin and all of those. So thank you to everybody who tuned in. We really do appreciate that. All right. This seems like so long ago, but I'm going to try it. We'll do these things we have to talk about in order in my mind. Like you make me do history in order. I kind of have to do this in order because it was only 3 weeks ago, but doesn't it seem like a year ago that we were together.
Listen, remember how I talked about I was going to not be okay to not have the show because it's like a therapy thing for me?
Yeah.
I would like to thank all the listeners that reached out to make sure I was okay. It was awesome.
Here we go.
Thanks, y'all.
This is a massive therapy session, and we're sorry you all have to listen. But
I'm still here, but yes, I will pay whoever I need to pay for this session. So let's get going.
well, the first thing that happened is when we went on break is I went to Jennifer and I actually, but I was there the day before Jennifer arrived to Lexington, Kentucky. And a bunch of us from the horse press went over to be a part in Lisa's movie, which, by the way, is wrapped up filming already. 26 days done. So
in and out.
It was a major production. So this, of course, is Lisa Wysocki's her series on cat end rights being made into a movie, and hopefully a bunch of movies. But there were like 40 people. We went to this old antebellum farm in Paris, Kentucky. We spent a lot of time in Paris, Kentucky that weekend. And it was a really cool place. It really was. But they must have had about 40 people there between the lighting people and the sound people and executive producers and assistant producers. And it was directors, the whole thing. I mean, it was a major movie production. Cameras like I have never seen before. That was kind of cool. But we were going to be extras in the movie. And there were about 10 or 12 of us from the American Horse Publications group that were there. And apparently you do a lot of sitting around waiting when you're on a movie. And we did a lot of that. We spent the first 4 or 5 hours by the pool in the backyard just hanging out. And then they got us in and the director said, okay, you guys, what he had us doing was we were going to play press at a murder scene. So we're lined up at the yellow police tape, screaming out questions to Cat Enright, the hero of this story, and that's what we did. And he gave us very little direction. He said, with extras, we normally have to do 5 or 6 takes, so, don't be upset about that. It's just normal. And then we had like 4 different scenes to film. And he just said, okay, I want you screaming out things like this. Well, I got to tell you, we're all reporters. That's what we do. So it took 1 or 2 takes for every scene, and we were done. We were done in like
that's great.
He said, you guys are great. I said, well, we are playing ourselves pretty much. And of course, Ashley and Heather were there, and there can be 2 more enthusiastic people to ask to scream out things. So that wasn't a problem. And it just worked out great. It was a lot of fun to do. It was a lot of fun to see the behind the scenes and how they film everything. And of course, the 12 different shots they get from every direction of these things happening. We got to meet the whole cast. The girl who's playing Cat was terrific. I got to spend a little time chatting with her and everybody, actually. But she was just terrific. She was a lot of fun. We're going to get her on the show here soon.
Perfect.
Yeah, she's in a bunch of movies and TV, but she's also a singer-songwriter, has her first album out, and was just delightful. And she was really good. I saw her doing, some of her scenes and was really good. And you remember Bubba, the troublemaking kid that was in her books?
Of course.
Like 12 or 13 years old. Well, the actor they picked to play Bubba was perfect. He had the best Southern accent I've ever heard. And he was probably 16-ish, but he'd been in a bunch of movies and TV and stuff. I met he and his mom, and he was terrific. So, we were just all good. We had a great time filming it. We had a great time being there. And Lisa, of course, was in her element. She was absorbing all of this and a little overwhelmed and very tired. She got very little sleep during this whole process. But we'll have her on soon to talk about the whole thing. She's back home now, I'm happy to report, and doing fine. And back to getting back in the grind. So apparently now everything goes into post-production. They have several networks, or I don't know what they call them anymore, the Netflixes of the world, interested in purchasing it. So they're negotiating that now. And hopefully it's a success and they can go on to doing other movies along the way, because we're in the rest of the books. So then we have to be in the movies. So that's it. That was a lot of fun, and thank you to Lisa for inviting us over for that day. It was truly the start of a really cool weekend. And then you came in to Lexington. Jennifer flew into Lexington for the awards ceremony, and I was honored with the 2026 2026 Equine Industry Vision Award. We did that at a breakfast at the American Horse Publications. I was honored to receive that. They give away one of these a year, and it's for people in the equine industry that have been innovative and have shown leadership and things like that. I got to tell you, the coolest thing about that was having you guys all in one place. You were there, Jennifer was there, Heather was there, Lisa, Reese,
KPP Karen,
KPP
Reese,
Karen, yeah, there were a whole bunch of you there, and that was so special. I'll put a picture of that in today's show notes.
Here. I don't mean to make this all about me, okay? But I would like to tell you, first of all, you did a fantastic job on your speech. But I would like to
Which is
just
nothing what I had written down, by the way.
nothing. I knew it. I was like, he's off. He's off script. Now, I was told that it was like, there's like breakfast and we're in a hotel. So I'm thinking like, okay, hotel breakfast. And then there's the award ceremony. So I kind of throw some clothes on and like barely. And I head down to breakfast. Breakfast was at the same time as the award show. I did not know that. And I was not dressed for the onslaught of photos that were taken of us together. And so if you
I just thought we looked like podcast hosts, actually.
I literally am like in basically a homeless person hoodie. I know, but I don't see people. And I did not know. And I just remember like, oh my God, wait, what? This is happening right now? Like, and there was no like precursor or preamble where I could have been like, oh, got to run upstairs and get changed. Like literally it's like, I sit down with my food and they're like, like, what is happening? And so then I have to take all these pictures. And I was like, I'm just so you know, I would have dressed. And then I'm sitting down there and I look like in jeans and like a hoodie. And everybody is in like super fancy attire and dresses and heels. And I'm like, it is 8 o'clock in the morning, people. How did you have time to get dresses for? Like, it was crazy. And I mean, I felt so ridiculous. So just so you know,
about this AHP is everybody was dressed a little better than in the past.
Yeah.
Except for us. I don't know why.
That was fun for me.
It's not usual. Before. I don't know what was going on.
I don't remember that. And so you have these pictures of me and like, I'm so sorry that I did not dress up. I didn't know. I just thought we were heading down, like stumbling down to breakfast.
It was so you. It was perfect.
Looking like a hood rat. Oh, that's so you.
I do want to thank, on a serious note, I want to thank you guys, the listeners, first and foremost. Without you, we wouldn't be here all these years later, and none of the Horse Radio Network would have happened. You've been so supportive of the auditors and listeners and everybody over the years for all the shows, not just ours. Also, Jennifer, I mean, I thanked her first in the speech, and that's because she's put up with all my crazy ideas all the years. Some have worked, some we've lost a lot of money on along the way. Not all ideas work when you're an entrepreneur, and of course, she's helped build the network. She's worked just as hard as I have. She's been full-time for about 15 of those 18 years. So without her, we wouldn't be here either. And then just our sponsors. Karen was there from KPP, our first sponsor. It was so good to see Karen. She seemed to be so relaxed now that she's retired, having a good time. And the hosts that were there, a bunch of hosts there, the guests, and of course you. I mean, none of this would be here without you either. And, so thank you for being along this ride all these years. I do appreciate that too. And then Heather, I got to thank Heather from Adulting with Horses. She's the one that put in the nomination, and I understand there were a bunch of people that sent recommendation letters in too, but she was the one really pushing hard for it, and she was on the cruise, so I got to thank her there, but also thank you to Heather for that. And then we got to do something fun that day after the awards, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. So one of our auditors named Karen works at Stonerside Farm in Paris, Kentucky. And Stonerside is so it is a racing breeding operation. And what that means is they breed to race. They don't breed to run horses through sales. And this is one of the, 4 farms that Sheikh Mohammed owns
Godolphin,
in the
right?
Kentucky area. Yeah. One of the Godolphin, John, all those. So like, it was crazy. So we drive into this farm and it's called Stonerside because it's next to Stoner Creek, so it's right next to that creek. So we go in and the first thing we do is when we get in there is we have to wait for her. And there's like a shrine to the sheikh like in the waiting room, and it's this big photograph, and it's like, ruler of Dubai, like it was crazy. And so we get to go on this tour. So we're in a car and we're driving around the property, which, by the way, is like 2,000 acres. And we drove to a barn and we were on the paved roads in this farm for 20 minutes before we got to where we were going. I'm like, where is it? It was so amazing. And then each paddock, she was like, yeah, we didn't breed that many. There's only like 45 at this barn that were bred. I'm like, can you imagine how much it cost to put 45 horses in training? And the studs are listed on the walls, and they're like the who's who of Kentucky stallions. Like, I mean, it's amazing. So we're driving through, and each paddock, because they don't have that many horses, only 40 babies are born. They don't have that many horses. And there's all these empty paddocks that have hay that are like, excuse me, grass that is like up to your eyeballs. And all these paddocks. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So he's like growing hay in the fields. And she like laughed. She's like, no. Well, I mean, we do grow hay and we cut it and we sell it as round bales. But he imports all of the hay for the horses from Montana. Like, Kentucky grass is not good enough for the horses at Stonerside. It was just incredible to learn.
I want to know. I asked the maintenance guy, I said, how do you mow all of this? I mean, it's perfect. There isn't a weed on the entire farm.
No.
And he said it takes, 2 or 3 guys 6 days a week mowing to keep up.
That's crazy. And then there's like, you'd see they had a new foal born, and like the guys are out there helping the horse.
Right when we arrived.
Yeah. And they're out there in like doctor's attire, like gloves and masks and the paper gowns and all that. I was like, this is the most intense, like, it was just a lot of excess, and I, for one, I really appreciated that. So
it was a pretty place, let me tell you, and
so,
obviously
Karen,
well run.
Thank you so much. Yeah, very well run.
And I will say, apparently, from what I heard from everybody, is they're really good to their employees. They've all been there for years. Years.
They
and
have
years.
like farm doctors. They don't have to have health insurance. I'm not supposed to say that, but they have like doctors for staff. Like, it's just incredible. And so getting a job with the Shake is probably like
a good
idea. Pretty good idea. Yeah.
You definitely want to put that on your list. But thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen, for arranging that. That was a lot of fun, and it really made our day to see all of that. Well, as you head into the serious hauling season, remember that every mile with traditional rubber mats is a mile where moisture and waste are trapped against your trailer floor, fueling hidden corrosion. WERM flooring eliminates the risk by bonding a permanent non-porous rubber seal directly to your subfloor. It's the ultimate spring upgrade. You get a floor that protects your aluminum from rot and seamless finish that never needs to be pulled out or scrubbed. This week, prioritize
By the way, I'm testing that because I got worm flooring in both my trailers, and I'm like, I don't have to do anything. And so I am really putting the worm flooring to the test, and I'm 100%.
Held up? It hasn't peeled off yet? You're still good?
I love it. And if it's gonna break somewhere, it's gonna break in my trailer, because now it's like the green light to not take care of it.
Well, if you'd like it for your trailer, visit wormflooring.com to find an authorized dealer and to see why worm flooring is the last floor you'll ever need. WERM flooring.com. And before I want to get to your horse adventures, but I also wanted to say thank you for all the hundreds and hundreds of congratulations I received for the award. I appreciated all your nice comments. I haven't had, because we went on the cruise immediately after, so I haven't had a chance to respond to everybody yet, but I'm going to work on that this week. Now, I was following your adventures while I was away, and it looked like you played horsey the entire time.
I have done nothing but I had like January and February and March where I hardly had any horses here. And I was like, oh my God, I need to go buy more horses because I don't have enough to do. And so I bought more horses, and now I have a lot to do because then I got a bunch of horses in training. So I am like up to my ears in horses, which is like the ultimate first world problem because it's fantastic. But I will tell you, I learned there's like ton of 2 stories that are relatively connected. And they involve our dear friend Butters and my little dear friend Tito Burrito, I'm calling him. So I take Tito in to work him in the round pen. I was like, I'm getting him some time off to grow, but I was like, yeah, there's some poles in the round pen. Let's move you around. Well, I put him in the round pen and he just turned into this monster. It was like galloping around like crazy and going and I was like, you know what? You're going to hurt yourself. Let's just more time. You just need more time. So I got to turn him out. And he is like, his blood is up and he just takes off galloping. And some of the other horses are already out in the pasture. And so Butters and Carl are out in the field. And Tito just hauling. I turn him out and he just does that. Like, I'm a racehorse. I'm going to gallop the whole property. Oh, there's Butters. And just went galloping around like crazy. And I'm in the barn with Zoe. And we're standing in the barn aisle. And I had already let Tito out and everybody's outside. And I'm starting to get everybody. And I look over at my neighbor's property and I see these two little palomino ears looking at me from not the right place. And I was like, Butters? And Zoe looks at Butters. What are you doing over there? I was like, oh my God. So these are the neighbors who, shocker, of course this happens, the ones that hate us, like literally hate us. They hate us so much. Remember I yarded the loose horses in their property last time, loose horse, and he was like going to get his gun to shoot him. I'll just shoot him. It'll be fine. Well, we've had like 2 inches of rain the night before. So Butters is now in my neighbor's yard. And
Digging it up.
already hate us, and I know they have weapons. And so I'm like, oh my God. And so I can't jump the fence because it's barbed wire. Like the edge of their property is barbed wire. So I can't climb over mine to get and climb over theirs. So I have to like grab a halter and run. And at this point, Butters is like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong place and I'm by myself. What do I do? I'll panic and run. And he is running in these people's property after 2 inches of rain with those little tiny yearling hooves that are just like sharp as knives. And he's running and I'm like, oh my God.
They weren't home.
So I grab a halter and I have to go out the front of my gate. And then I have to run all the way down to their place. And then I have to sneak into their backyard and like run to so at this point, it's like I say 3/8 of a mile, but that's fairly accurate. It was at least half a mile. And I'm sprinting.
It's a ways.
I don't sprint. I don't run. I don't want to participate in any of that. So I go, but I have to go running and catch him before they get outside. And I'm like utter panic. I'm like, oh my God, Butters. And he's just like running around, whinnying through the yard, tearing up. So I run over and I grab him. I'm like, because of all the rain, I thought, well, the fence has to have fallen down. So crap, there's probably going to be more horses out here in a second. So I grab him and I go to walk him and I walk him down the street and he's just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So stressful. So I'm like, well, I put him in a stall and I'm like, Zoe, we need to go walk the fence line because clearly the fence fell down. Because I mean, it's Butters. Like he's my tiny little quarter horse baby. Something, and I don't know how he got out, so the fence must be down. No, Glenn, the fence was not down.
Did he jump it?
I don't know. He didn't go through it, and he didn't go under it, so he must have jumped it. And it's like 3.5 feet tall at the place where it lines the neighbor's house.
You're going to need a deer fence soon. You need to go up there.
I
6
think what
feet.
happened was I let Tito out and Tito goes running down and Butters like, oh my God. He got really scared and he just like jumped out of my field. Like, and he
hasn't
didn't
done
have
it
a
since?
scratch. No. I think he surprised himself and scared himself more than he actually like imagined. It was
Got
it was
the other
crazy.
side of the fence and went, what happened?
What am I doing over here? So I'm like, because if I didn't sprint over there, he either, fortunately, he contained his galloping and screaming to their backyard. And because he could have gone out into the road. So if that's, I'm like hustling. I'm like, they're going to shoot him. He's going to get on the street. Like, oh my God, all these terrible things are happening. And I caught him and he didn't have a scratch on him and the fence was not down. So I did not see what happened. I can only imagine he jumped it because I don't think they have the beam me up Scotty technology addressed yet. Like that's not hammered out. So I don't know what happened. It was like the scariest thing, yet also like kind of impressive.
Okay, now I need to talk to you about the neighbor. Did you approach them and say, my horse
Okay,
dug up
well,
your yard? Or
no, if you recall, like when I did save their pasture because that one horse was loose that was not mine, and even the animal control couldn't catch it. I caught this horse, and like after I walked it out, we drove up to them. Chad and I did in our Ranger, okay, because they're standing outside and their arms are crossed, and we drove up to them in our Ranger to like chat with them the last time. And as we drove up, you know what those two sons of guns did is they stood next to each other and turned around and crossed their arms. And I am
they put your
6
back to you?
feet behind them in a running Ranger, and they just stood there, turned their back to us like we weren't there. And I was like, you know what? You're dead to me. Like, I have nothing for you anymore. So did I disgust them and apologize for my horse? Hell no. You can take it. And I was like, and I didn't see them there. I saw a bunch of cars, like their cars were there, but they did not come out. So I was like, okay, I think I got away with it. So I start walking, Zoe and I are walking the fence, and Ginger came out because of course, like Ginger's there to like see all the shenanigans that happen. And we're walking the fence line and we can't find anything. And I'm like scouring the ground for where the hoof prints were. And then I see them come out.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, run!
What, did he have the shotgun in his hand?
I never got to examine the property all that well because we were like, we just need to run. And all I see is them huffing around, stomping divots. It was awesome. I didn't say a word. They don't, you know, they don't talk to me. So maybe if you had a nice, pleasant demeanor, I would apologize to you. But no, you get nothing from me. You get nothing, and that's all you're gonna get. And it was awesome. And Butters is fine. He's a little angel, and I'm really glad he's castrated because he is definitely like still got.
You're gonna have to put up one of those 6-foot privacy fences on that side along their yard.
Well, I keep building things to like I built a round pen so they can't see us. I put one of their run-in sheds in the direct line of sight from my house to theirs so they can't like, because I've seen them with binoculars before. Like it's weird.
It's
They're
time
weird.
for one of those solid wooden privacy fences now all along the road.
Well, I think eventually if I keep pissing them off, they're going to pay for it.
Are they old? Are they're like 89, 90 years old?
No, they're like 40.
So you can't count on them dying and moving out soon. So
when we first moved in, the neighbor 2 houses down came over and introduced himself. And I was like, oh, and who lives there? And he was like, don't worry about them. They just want to smoke pot and be left alone. And I was like, fair enough. But they live in the country. You can't expect a horse not to get. Now, here is the second part to that story, Glenn.
okay.
So I realized that Tito scared him, you know, like really scared him. And I didn't know why. So if you recall, when I went to New Vocations, I was like, this is a lot of horse, you guys. Like, it's pretty and he's gray, but I'm like, y'all can't just let anybody have him. That's a lot of horse. Like, whew, that's a train wreck. And they were like, no, we'd love for you to adopt him. And of course, he's like, he was free. So I'm marching towards that. So I adopted him. Sure, what the hell? So he comes here and he bites, he's just flighty, he's just so much horse, he's just so much, and he's aggressive with the other horses. So New Vocations, to give you like this folder of paperwork and all the, you know, medical stuff that they have on him and all this, and I got his Coggins that was dated at the end of March, and in his Coggins he is listed as a stud colt. He's just recently castrated. No wonder he's a lot. I have so many things here that have just been castrated. It's crazy. So they didn't know. I didn't know. I just happened to look at the papers and I'm like, it makes so much sense why this horse is like the way he is. So I'm just giving him a couple months to like
Has he
settle
settled in
down.
at all? You've had him for what, 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah, he's much better. I do think that he was probably castrated around the same time as Amigo. So I think the main reason I wanted to give him time off is he's supposed to be 3, but he doesn't even have his 3-year-old baby, like adult teeth in. So he still has all his baby teeth. So I was like, you know what? I'll just let you chill and like be a horse. And then I realized, oh, no wonder you're such a mess is because you were just gelded. So anyway, that's part of my insight on Tito and why his behavior has been affected. So we have only one way to go, Glenn, and that is straight up. Straight up.
So he's just turned out right now. Is he out with anybody, or is he still alone at this point?
He's out with the whole herd. I never even was a problem. But my friend Rachel brought her 2 horses this past week to train.
Oh, that's
she adopted.
Right. I wasn't the only one hanging out with listeners, was I?
No, so she came out and she brought her new vocations horse that she adopted, a little gray horse that looks just like it was born here, lives here. So she brought those 2 out, and one of the ones she brought was a mare. Roxy is the most angel mare, but let me tell you,
riled up the gang.
I definitely could tell Tito was recently castrated. I was like, oh, put that thing away, you dirty little bugger. Like she could be your great grandmother. She's like 15 and you're 3. Okay. That's gross. Put it away. So it all makes sense now. And I'm very happy that Rachel came and she left yesterday. And it was very sad because it was lovely to have
you had a
somebody.
fun week. Yeah. Judging by the pictures.
We had a great time. We just basically rode horses. And I mean, let me just pile on to all of this information. Are you bored of me talking yet?
No, I've been seeing all the pictures. I wanted to get caught up too.
Well, I took baby Ace, my little sweet angel Ace, to a dressage show on Saturday. A dressage show, and I haven't been to.
Blood, right? I mean,
he's a thoroughbred. This is Ace, my little event horse,
gotcha.
And there was a dressage show. Yeah, I know. Great thoroughbred, weird, great, weird.
You need to send me a list so I can keep it straight.
It's ever changing, so I don't know if it would be accurate by the time you got it. So I took Ace to a dressage show on Saturday morning, and I want to thank our auditor, Pamela, is actually the one who put it on, and she did a great job. So go down to this horse show, and it's at like a county fairground in Purcell, and as a big covered arena, and I need a big ass fan, Glenn. Those are like the greatest things.
They're expensive, but they work.
I mean, this indoor was like, it was so hot outside and it was like cold in there because these big ass fans were blowing. So anyway, I did, the only time I've done dressage tests, like in the events, were still the intro walk trot because Ace was not getting his leads or he was bucking in canters for a long time. And now I officially signed him up for training level test 1 and training level test 2. And so I did, I was like, we're just going to do, I haven't been doing like just a dressage show in 15 years. And it was absolutely fun. Well, thank God it was a schooling show. It's like, I looked a little nicer than your breakfast, but barely. But fortunately, my horse is super pretty. So I had to bathe him the morning of. I haven't been doing like a thing like this in a long time. So I bathed him, got him in the trailer, loaded him up, unloaded him, rode test number 1, test number 2, and Glenn, my little sweet baby angel, won both of his tests.
Wow, congratulations.
First place in both tests. Yeah, I was very excited.
Become a DQ before we know it.
I mean, who does not a DQ on a thoroughbred? Let's see. I can compete with the Purcell, Oklahoma crowd like nobody's business.
Now, were you the only one in the class?
No, thank you very much. I was at least 3 of us. Okay.
Just check.
Maybe. I think
it was Oklahoma. I had to ask.
I was like 5 or 6. But then, you know what was really crazy? After they had like some English dressage, and then they let the Western riders come out and do some Western dressage. So that was kind of fun to watch. Just a little bit of different tack out there doing their tests. So it was kind of cool. So it was really fun. I'm really proud of him, and Rachel groomed for me, and my vet, Dr. Kimberly, Dr. Rasmussen was there, and she competed. And then another auditor was there. I posted pictures in the auditor Facebook page. So it was just, Allison was there. She's awesome. We just had a great time. So
does that mean he's going into dressage career, or are you going to try and event him, or what?
I don't know. I don't have goals for anything. I just want to have fun. And it was fun. So I'll do it again. Get along
so well. Neither one of us are really good at goals.
I've spent my entire 20s and 30s with riding goals. But I started competing when I was like 10, and I've always had goals and always been driven and always been like, I've got to get to the next level and to the next level. And this time I was like, please pick up your leads. Oh, good boy. It's so much more fun to not stress myself out. And Chad actually showed up, surprised me, and he and Lucas showed up.
Oh, wow.
And he was like, this is like such a difference. I said, what do you mean? He goes, you're on a horse that is like just standing around on a loose rein and not trying to murder you. I was like, yes, it's so fun to ride like a quiet horse.
I spent
It's
a lot
so
of years
weird.
watching Jennifer in that same situation, so
Yeah.
I get what he said.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. So he's like, he just unloads and he's like, okay, cool. Like, let's do it. I mean, he never raced. He went to the track and had a lot of experience, but he never ran. So I don't know if that affects. I need to do some sort of like science testing
Yeah,
to
was
see
there ever a
like,
study on that? That's a good question.
yeah, a good question to see like how horses behave at horse shows, if they have raced, if they're unraced, if they haven't been to the track, if they have been to the track. So it'd be kind of fun to see. And I've got a couple unraced horses and I have lots of exciting stories about race horses. So it was kind of cool to take him there and just let him fancy prance. Oh, but I will tell you this. Why can people not keep their mouth shut? And let me just tell you what I mean. So I go in for my training level test 2, and I was warming up, and there is this woman in the warm up. Okay. And she's doing like Western dressage. And she's like, I don't ride for an hour, but I'm just going to warm my horse up. And there was a tiny little area, and they weren't supposed to be in there unless you were like about to go in, but whatever. Okay. So I'm trying to warm up in there and get the canter, and his canter tends to sometimes be fairly explosive. But so I asked him to warm up for a canter, and he like exploded and like went up in the air and then landed and cantered on nicely. So
Is there extra points for that at this level of
they
dressage?
don't give me extra points for excitement. But I will tell you that I go in there and I do my test, and he was absolutely awesome. He was so good. He was just like his leads, got his leads. He was bending in the correct direction, like as accurate as we can possibly hope for. Like, it was really nice. So I come out of the test, and that bitch is in the warm up still. And do you want me to tell you what that bee said to me? She goes, "That was a really nice test. You did a really good job." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." She goes, "I mean, I saw you warm up," and I was like, "Ew, God, gross." But like, then you went in there, you did pretty good. It's like, was that necessary? For you to say, I was watching you warm up and I was like, ew, but
Any
then the
sentence
gross.
that includes a but. It's not necessarily a good sentence.
It's just stop it before the butt. God. And then I walk out and there is a woman who is like a dressage queen, and she's like 80, and she goes to watch all the horse shows. And she's like, I walk out and I'm so happy with my test because like he didn't buck. I got all my leads. He was fairly accurate because the first test I did, he tried to run out at A. Like he tried to duck out. Like he didn't know. He was like, I'm just going to leave. And I was like, no. So the second test, he didn't do that. He was perfect. And then this bee is like, oh my God, it's like a warm up. Like I just like, and she's so nasty. And then I ride out and Chad's like, good job, good job. And then this 80-year-old woman walks up and she goes, you need to stop dropping your hand on the inside when you're asking for your canter transition.
Why do people think they have to be your coach when they're not
Because
getting
thank
paid?
thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Chad is like, what was that? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, but why do people have to do that? Like, what? You know what? Lesson learned. If anybody comes out and they're super excited about their tests, just poop on them. Just poop on them.
They're the same ones that do it on Facebook for every video you post. too.
Yes, exactly.
They
And
just get to do it in real life.
None of these people are listening, but if you are, you know who you are, and you should have better manners. Because I was so happy, and I came out, I was like, oh my God, it's so exciting. And then, I saw you warming up. It was like, oh, I was like, that is a mess. I think she called me a mess. A mess. And I'm like, thank you for that comment. And then I walk out, and she's like, you need to stop dropping your hand. I'm like, oh, my husband's like, you did great. I'm like, thank you. Now I'm going to go to my car and cry because people are mean. My horse is so rude. And then I got the blue ribbon, so suck it. My hand doesn't matter. My horse wasn't a mess. Sorry,
I don't know
move
why
on.
people insist on doing that at horse shows.
God,
That has
isn't
happened since the
crazy?
beginning of time. I don't know. You're not getting paid. Nobody asked you. All right? I mean,
Exactly.
if you're paying the person, then okay. But nobody asked.
Oh, God, I
Nobody
did
asked.
definitely
the
not
only,
ask.
The only opinion that counts at the horse show really is the judges, right? So
You know
really
what?
the
I don't
only
even care about
opinion
that.
counts.
I just care about me. Until people start offering insight into my behavior.
You know what does count is keeping control of flies, and I'll tell you what, we have done a good job of that this year. The Spalding Fly Predators seem to be really working this year. I would say from the beginning of the year when we first started using them, because we get flies a lot earlier than everybody else, we started using them. We had so many flies at the beginning of the year, and then Spalding came and we got to use them for 2 or 3 cycles. They seem to come like every 2 weeks. I don't know what the order is, but it seems like we get them every 2 weeks.
Every
And
month.
is that about right? Is it
Yes.
about every 2 weeks? So we put them
No,
out.
every month.
We
Once
have
a month.
70% less flies than we did. At least 70 to 80% less flies than we did. It's incredible how much they do work. Now, I understand if you have some farms, I know one of our auditors posted that she can't use them because they have a cow farm next door. And you talk to Spalding when you place your order and you fill out their questionnaire, they ask you things like that. And if you have a farm like that, they're probably not even going to encourage you to do that. You know, if there's a neighboring farm that has cows.
No, I have cows next to us too. So where I use the fly predators and I spread them is in my barn.
Oh, you actually do them in the barn. Okay.
In the barn. I do. I have like 7 stalls. And so when I get my fly predators and they start to emerge, I just kind of pour a little bit in each stall because that is the main part. I can't control 20 acres. I would need $9 billion worth of fly predators. So I've got my manure pile all the way at the back. The cows are on the other side of the fence. I can't control them, but I can control the inside of my barn. So I put everything inside my barn, and I had a veterinarian out last week and she commented on how insignificant my fly problem is. Now you want to get them going, you guys. If you haven't started, get going, do it now because the sooner you start, the better it gets. So check it out. Yeah, there is a code. Also, if you go to buy them, there's HRN10, and you get what does that
10% off, I think. Yeah, for the first order. And you're right. You do want to get them started pretty soon. But we have a whole summer of flies coming. So and fall. They don't go away.
It's only
winter,
June, people.
Yeah.
No, we have flies till October.
Yeah. So go check them out at look up Spalding Fly Predators and you'll find them online. Don't forget the coupon code HRN10. Well, you had horse adventures. I had eating and floating adventures. We went to Alaska for the Horse Lovers Cruise. We had 42 there, our listeners on the cruise with us this time.
Wait, you had 42 people go on the cruise?
Yes, 42.
Did 42 people come home from the cruise?
Yeah, 42 people came home a lot heavier from the cruise. We all gained a few pounds on the cruise. I will tell you, Alaska is known for a couple of things. You've been to Alaska. One of the things they're known for is rain. It rains all the time. We had a week. We were there for almost 10 days. We had 10 days without rain. I think it rained for 2 hours in the 10 days. It was cold. It was chilly. We were in the 40s, low 40s most mornings, and most days we were in the high 40s, low 50s. So for us, and from coming from Florida, it was rather chilly.
Lovely.
But I'll tell you what, it was perfect weather for Alaska. The bugs aren't out yet. But Alaska's also known for mosquitoes. The bugs weren't out yet because it was May, and it was just beautiful. The mountains had a lot of snow on them. Still, I was surprised how much snow was still there. But we had a great time. We spent a couple days in Anchorage. We all went to the zoo there. Jennifer and I spent a day with my nephew and his new wife, and had a lovely time with them. And then we took this cruise.
Do they live there?
Yeah, they live. He works for the Alaska National Guard. Actually,
Oh wow.
He was an Air Force person first, and now he's with the Alaska National Guard, and he's like 17, 18 years in. I guess he's going to get to retire in a couple of years. But he loves it there. They assigned him there, and he stayed. He loves Alaska. So it was nice to see them. I hadn't seen him in probably 15 years. And then we went on the cruise, had a great time. Everybody got along so well. It was just such a good group this time. I mean, it's been a good group most of the times. But they all got along. They all hung out together, did events together. The cruise was absolutely spectacular. I mean, everywhere you look in Alaska is a postcard. It's just a postcard. There's no bad views in Alaska. It's just because everywhere you look, there's a snow-covered mountain, and it just the number of mountain ranges in Alaska is unbelievable. And of course, the cruise, you get to see a lot of those mountains as you're cruising along, and we had a great time. We all had dinner together every night, hung out together during the day. A lot of karaoke was done by this group. There was one horse husband that did a striptease for some reason the one night that ended up being on video. And it's just, they all had a great time. It was sweet.
Glenn, that's Jamie at horseradionetwork.com.
So that was posted on the, you can get to that on the cruise page, by the way. So it was just a fun time. The horse husbands all had a great time. I got to hang out with some of them, so that was a lot of fun for me to see some actual guys. We had a guy listener on the cruise. His name is Connor. He's in his 20s. Connor, thank you for joining us on the cruise. He actually brought his mom and dad along, and they all had a great time. So, Connor, it was so good to see you. He had a lot of fun on the cruise, too. But it was just fun. It was just nice to get away. You know what the hardest part about coming home from an 8-day cruise is? Having to cook again. I was gone for 3 weeks.
Like the hot weather.
No, I was gone for 3 weeks. I didn't have to cook for 3 weeks. We get home, and of course, the refrigerator's empty because you have to empty it if you're going away for 3 weeks. And oh my God, then you have to cook again. Nobody's cooking for you. There's just nothing.
How is your weight? Like, do you have have you gained so much weight?
5 pounds on that cruise. I may have gained a little weight on the cruise. One of the things I noticed on this cruise that has been different than cruises we took 15 years ago was the gym is packed all the time. You go up there in the morning, you cannot find a piece of equipment that doesn't have a person on it.
Why were you in there?
I went up to visit it, to see it. I did not do anything in it. But a lot of our cruisers were going to the gym, and they were complaining that they couldn't get on any of the equipment. I was shocked the number of people who were actually concerned about their health on the cruise. That didn't happen 20 years ago.
See, you're concerned about people taking care of themselves. Like, that's so
shocked.
weird.
I was shocked. That didn't happen years ago on the cruise. So that's a new thing. I think people trying to stay healthy on the cruise, bizarre concept, but it's there and people used it. So
weird.
Anyway, congratulations to our group who actually went up and worked out in the morning. I would like to say I envy you, but I really don't. I was enjoying not doing anything except walking around. Did get a lot of steps in.
You ate a lot. It's good.
We did see, I'll tell you the animals we saw. We saw whales. A couple of our group saw orca whales, killer whales.
Oh, wow.
We missed this, but the one stop, we saw some deer came right up practically to us at the one stop at Icy Strait Point, and we were right along the ocean there. And we turned to walk away to go on our tour to see the brown bears, and apparently, right when we walked away, a whale was like 100 yards out, putting on a show for 15 minutes.
Wow!
Breaching the whole thing, putting on a show. Everybody was watching. We missed it because we went to do it. We did see brown bear on a tour. They're big. They're big ones. A lot of people saw bear. We saw sea lions and all that kind of thing. A lot of eagles. There's eagles everywhere up there. So we did see a lot of eagles. So we got to see a good number of animals while we're there. A couple people had close encounters with porcupines. Got to see porcupines, which I didn't know lived in Alaska, but apparently do.
I don't think I knew that either.
But you think porcupine Alaska? That's not what I would think of, but apparently
it's not what you hear. You don't hear about this a lot.
No, but they ran into some porcupines. Fortunately, not literally. And it was fun. It was a scenery animal trip, just not horses. So for me, it was perfect. So Horse Husband was perfect.
I do love seeing the local wildlife when I go on a trip somewhere, just to see kind of what's different. And I mean, Alaska is amazing because you just be standing there and this bald eagle swoops down in front of you as you look across the river at a bear grabbing salmon. You're like, this is just normal here. It's crazy.
I know, and it's like you're in a movie or a National Geographic special. It's like you're in that. It really is.
It's cool.
So anyway, the cruise was fantastic. Thank you to everybody who went. We really appreciated you going along. And I think I haven't heard any negatives, so I think everybody had a spectacular time. And that was the last official Horse Lovers cruise. I did hear rumors that Heather and Natalie might look at putting one together from Adulting with Horses, another Horse Radio Network cruise, although they'll run it, so I don't have to. But that's just a rumor at this point. We'll let you know if anything comes of that. Well, we've been talking a lot about ourselves, but you know what? In the last 3 weeks while we've been off, the listeners have had a life too. So let's hear what problems they've had.
It's time for the weekly look at your Equestrian First World Problems. This ought to be good.
I'm trying to keep it light. because some people had some serious problems, and I feel you. I'm just trying to keep it light because a lot of these might be people that you were with on the cruise. So just see if you can keep your ears peeled. Well, first we're going to start with, remember, if you want to participate in Equestrian First World Problems, you have to become an auditor. And Glenn, how do they do that?
Just go to horseradionetwork.com, scroll down in the middle of the page, you'll see a block there that mentions auditors. Click on that, and for as little as $3 a month, you too can join the party.
All right. Well, we're going to start with Carrie. She said that my friend is letting me ride her horse as I'm getting back into riding after having a baby. But he likes to hang out as far from the barn as possible in his paddock, and it takes forever to go get him.
We've all owned that horse that does that to you every single time. And usually the bigger the farm, the further that, it just seems to take forever.
So here's what you do. When you're feeding it, you do a certain whistle, and then you can whistle when they're in the field, and they'll put food in their brain and they'll come running. That's how it happens in my house. I call it the tornado drill. Like, hey,
in your case, that's literal.
Yeah, exactly. Amanda says, I got a new Western saddle and a new pair of English tall boots, and I couldn't decide which one to use first, so I rode Western and English boots. But then I couldn't post any pictures on Instagram because it looked weird.
She would have people. She'd have that lady making fun of her.
Oh, yeah. For sure. Laurie says, I was planning on selling my horse, but now she's like being such a good girl. I don't want to get rid of her.
Wait, that'll change. You'll be back to selling her next week.
Give it a couple days. Jessica says, I'm getting a new saddle. It's a black dressage saddle, but my favorite stirrup leathers are brown. So I either need to darken them or pony up and buy them in black. Obviously you need to buy them, because what if you need them for your old brown saddle? You never know.
We would
go switching back and forth.
We would set up, when we had our tack shop, we'd set up at shows. We had a mobile unit, and I can't tell you how many people would come in and go, I got a new saddle, but I forgot about the stirrup leathers. Do you have black ones? I can't tell you. That happens all the time.
All the time. Kimberly says, I am so fortunate enough to have all of my horses and be able to afford beautiful hay for them, but I constantly live every day with hay in my bra and all over my clothes. I leave a hay trail everywhere. Girl, I went to like a lunch the other day and I was like, oh my God, I just shedded hay on the table from my hair. That's the problem. Debbie says, I'm shopping for passable jeans at Goodwill. I consolidate trips to town, which is 30 miles. I never eat out. And I just am constantly endeavoring to economize. But my new mare, alone for the first time in 17 years with me, she's visibly lonely. So I had to go get her an emotional support horse.
and then there'll be a second emotional support horse and
but
a third
I think you have to have three, right? Because when you go to ride one, you're leaving one behind. So the one behind needs a friend, because you can't take two. Well, then maybe four if you take two to a horse show.
That's the problem we have right now, is we can't take two out because there's three. And if you take two out at the same time, the third goes ballistic. So we have that problem right now.
Yeah, it's a problem. That's why my friend Brooke just adopted the second horse. And I'm like, you're going to have to get a third, because you can't just have two, because you work one, the other is freaking out. Shelly says, I just bought a new saddle we're going to see a theme today. I just bought a new saddle to Hunter Payson, but it's brown, and I'm a dressage queen with all black tack. And plus I'm a matchy addict, and it just looks off.
Color seems to be the theme in today's show.
Yeah, no kidding. I'll tell you about mine too when we get to it. Denise says, I got to tend to my and my daughter's broken horse and my 8-year-old granddaughter while my daughter and son-in-law went on some stupid cruise to Alaska for 10 days.
I know who that was. They had a great time, by the way. I don't think they missed home at all.
They cried. No, you tell Denise they cried every day.
Ever asked
they woke up and they were so sad that they were missing you,
the whole time.
Their children, their horses. They were just like, we haven't done any farm chores in forever. I haven't had hay in my bra in days. It's weird. So don't worry, Denise.
I'm sure
they
were you and the horses. I'm sure they
Amy says... I had to come home from Alaska and I couldn't keep a sled dog puppy. Did you guys see
a bunch
sled
of them
dogs?
went to the sled dog trip, and they had like 6-8-week-old puppies there, and there were a bunch of pictures of them holding the cutest damn puppies. Sled dog puppies are really cute because they're so fluffy.
Oh, so cute.
They look like little stuffed animals, and apparently they all smell like it too. By the way, they smell like dogs when they get
They're
there.
dogs. Sandy says, I went to a working equitation clinic. And guess what? While I was riding, my bra broke, and it wasn't old or cheap. So she said, I was afraid I was going to have to vet wrap the girls in place. But luckily, we found a huge safety pin and then wrapped the pin and band in duct tape, and it held just long enough.
I have seen everything happen at shows. I've seen bridles break, bits break, stirrups break, stirrup leathers break. I have seen carriages become dislodged from the horse. I have seen pants split. We've all seen that. The pants split right. I have never heard of a bra breaking during the show.
That's because you're a boy and we don't talk to you about things like that. Unless you're Sandy, who doesn't give a crap. And we'll just tell the whole entire world.
They know we read these things, right?
I love it, Sandy. That's so me. Alexis says, I spent $800 on blood work to discover my horse is in fact still a horse.
What did they do? Take gallons? $800?
Because you run all these tests and then you're like hoping something comes up.
Yeah.
So you're like, you know what to
That's
treat.
more than
And
they
they're like,
charge for
it's
people
fine.
blood work.
This is Allison. She said she can't come to my clinic in October because we were talking about it at the horse show. She was there at the horse show. She said, I can't go to Jamie's clinic in October because I'm going to be on a European vacation. I was like, where are you going? She named like every European country. Ugh. Remember, I do have clinic spots available.
Do you have
October
room in your
5th.
luggage? I'll go along. I can be.
October 5th through the 16th.
Do you need
Don't
a
take
+1
one
for that trip?
I think she's got
Jamie's
her own
going to be
+1.
off. I might as well take off.
I know, right? Might as well go to Europe with Allison. So the final First World Equestrian Problem is mine. And I was at this horse show and they had like one of those little tack trailers, which, you know, you need to support small businesses, Glenn, especially somebody who's like hustling enough to go to Purcell Dressage show on a Saturday morning. So we all went over there and I saw the prettiest saddle pad. Do I need a saddle pad? No,
We all
of
know
course
you don't
I-
need to sell.
Of course, I don't need another saddle pad. But there was like one of those super pretty, and I was like, oh my God, this looks so good on Ace. And turned out it matched the shirt I was wearing. So I was like, I totally need to buy this pad. And I was like, I'm supporting a small business, and she's out here hustling. I'm going to buy the pad. So I buy the pad. And I just, there was another color that I like too. And I was like, and that color will match Ace and Amigo. So color gate started and I couldn't decide what color pad to use. So I bought the periwinkle slate gray thing, but there was a black one and they have like little diamonds on the edges. And it was so pretty. And I was like, that would totally match Amigo's bridle. But then like, I don't know, this one matches Ace so good. So it's like, oh my God, the back and forth. I'm sure that all my friends, I do apologize because it was like a huge thing. And I was like, I cannot buy 2 saddle pads. I don't need 2 saddle pads. So I couldn't sit with it, so I had to go back, and I exchanged the slate gray for the black. I was hoping it would have been sold already, but I had to get the black. So I got the black.
So you didn't buy a second one. You just traded it in.
I didn't. I traded it in because, like, I mean, I was vacillating. It was
that is growth for you.
I was like, this is a major equestrian first world problem. I can't buy 2. But I have to buy 1, but I couldn't decide what color. So I have this beautiful pad and my 2 blue ribbons that I go home with. And I'm in the barn and I've got Ace all put away. He's been poulticed and I have this giant bag with this saddle pad in it.
Poulticed him after a dressage show?
Yes, because the footing was really deep and I did not. It's county fair footing, Glenn. Okay. Don't judge me. I overdo. Okay. I love too much. So anyway, back to my story.
Getting back to your eventing days, you just missed poulticing horses, didn't you?
I mean, I poultice them all the time. I smear that stuff on like it's candy. I have poultice everywhere. It's my favorite thing. So anyway, I have this big giant bag sitting on my bench with a saddle pad in it. and my dressage tests are in there, and my ribbons are in there. So Chad comes down. It's a clear bag. So he walks down. He sees the ribbons in the bag with the saddle pad. And he was like,
I know what
ribbons.
you did. You didn't do that, did you? You didn't.
So I pull the ribbons out and I show him and he goes, oh my God, that show you got a saddle pad as a prize?
You did, didn't you? You did it.
Glenn, angel on one shoulder, devil on the other shoulder. Because on my devil side was like, just tell him you want it. Just tell him you want it. And the angel's like, you need to come clean with your purchases. You can't lie to your husband. And I was like, this is like the hardest part of the whole day. I was like, what do I say? What do I say? Because I know if I say I bought the saddle pad, what am I going to hear? Why do you need another saddle pad? You don't need another saddle pad. You have 600
If only
saddle
he had
pads
worded
there.
it differently, you wouldn't have been lying if he had worded it
I
a little
couldn't. I
differently.
wasn't that quick. I was tired. I'd been up early. I've already done a horse show. I came home like I'm shipping. I was just great. So I'm like, isn't it pretty? And he's like, that is nice. That's like a really nice pad. It's like really nice. And I was like, it is really nice. And I think it's going to look so good on Amigo. And it's going to match Ace. And I was like, I don't have any black pads. And this is black with diamonds. He was like, I can't believe you won that.
See, if he hadn't said that, you would have been fine.
I'd have been fine. But I go, honey, I didn't win it. I bought it. I bought it. Bought it. I bought it. And then I walked off and I don't want to hear any more about it because I got 2 blue ribbons. I deserved a prize. I deserved one, Glenn. So the whole thing about
I wish in that 2-minute time I could have heard the inner monologue in your head.
Oh God, it was so loud. It was so loud. Like I said, the devil on my left was like, just tell him you want it. Just tell him you want it. And the angel's like, don't lie to your husband. Marriage is based on trust. Oh God.
Do you know how many women would come in our tax shop that had credit cards their husbands didn't know about?
I mean, come on.
But you know what I figured? I figured if all they were doing was buying horse stuff that the husband didn't know about, that's not a bad thing. You know, it's better than having a credit card for other purposes, right?
I'm telling you, I need some major karmic clean points for not lying to my husband.
You get 100 points in my book.
He assumed that I won it, and I could have just let it go. But we just had to keep talking about it.
Said it in that certain way, you'd have been fine. You wouldn't have had to say anything.
I mean, but he
Really
like
nice
led
pad.
me back into it, and then I'm like, oh, what? Like, is it better
Because
to
he's
lie?
figured out your tricks and he knows how to get it out of you now.
Like, is it better to lie and get caught, or like
No, it's
not
better to
lie
tell
and
the
hear
truth.
crap about it? I
You
did.
make money. I mean, it's not like you don't make any money, right?
I told him, and by the way, it goes on the business account because it's an expense because it's at a horse show. So my LLC, I get to write. It's a write-off, Glenn. It's a write-off. It's basically free.
I said that about the $300 of pizzas I had to buy for pizza night before the cruise. So that's what I said.
It's a write-off.
It's a write-off. Let's see if the IRS questions $300 worth of pizza. Well, congratulations on your horse show and doing so well. You all have put up with us for an hour and 10 minutes, and we didn't even have a guest. We had a lot to talk about. We had 3 weeks worth to go over. So we'll be back on Wednesday. We'll have some guests, and there's some news that happened. Some not so good news that we probably should talk about, and other news that we should probably talk about. A lot of news. The Dover thing I want to talk about a little bit. So all of that coming up as we get into the regular swing of things on Wednesday's show. We'll be here Wednesday and Friday as well. Get your ads into Really Bad Ads. Send it to Jennifer at horseradionetwork.com. Where do they send weird news?
Send weird news to weirdnews@horseradionetwork.com. And let me stress again, if you have bad ads, send them to Jennifer at horseradionetwork.com. Not me. I mean, I forward them to her, but it's annoying. And don't know, I'm tired. It's too much. I hate staring at my phone. So anyway, I also will tell you that I do have another horse story for you on Wednesday that is going to just warm my little heart. But I can't talk anymore. Y'all, I'm sick of me.
Well,
Y'all got
auditors,
to be sick of me.
hang on, because I have news for Jamie that doesn't happen too often. So it hasn't happened hardly
Is the
ever
man
in
from
16
Snowy
years.
River actually going to be a guest on the show?
Oh, you'll have to
Tom
wait till the
Burleson?
post show and see.
Oh my God.
In the meantime, keep the date free. This is July the 19th, Sunday, July the 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We are doing a special Zoom session. Go an hour or two hanging out with you guys, and that's going to be in celebration of our 4,000th episode, which actually happens on Monday the 20th. So we're going to record it, and we'll put it out as our episode. But we thought, what better way than to hang out with all of you that made all this possible all these years? And there's not too many podcasts in the world, maybe 10. I don't even know if there's that many that's made it to 4,000 episodes. So put that on your calendar. I'm going to start a Facebook event for it, so that it'll be a reminder you guys can set up. I'll post that as well. But that is July the 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll give you the Zoom link and everything for that. We look forward to hanging out with a bunch of you that night, and we'll have some special surprises for you as well. In the meantime, let's say goodbye. Say goodbye, Jamie.
Spader to geld, like all the former studs on my farm.
You have the X-Stud farm.